Just give us a cue. Okay.
All right. Shabbat Shalom. Good evening, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Good to see you here in person, out on the lawn in front of TBE. And of course, also for all those who are watching us remotely from home, good to have you here as well. And for those who don't know me yet, I'm Rabbi Stefan Tivi. I'm the interim rabbi here at TBE. With me, my clergy partner,
Cantor Jeffrey Fine. Hi, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Good to see you all.
and of course, as always, accompanied by Debbie Jab. Good to have you as well here tonight. And just as a reminder, while we are outside on the lawn, our policy regarding COVID is if you're vaccinated, you don't need to wear a mask. Once we're inside the building, we ask people to wear a mask, continuing though. So yeah, everybody please welcome everybody, say like a little Shabbat Shalom to the folks sitting next to you. Same also for the folks at home, if you want to wish a brief Shabbat Shalom.
That's so nice to see in person, I've got to tell you. This makes me smile every Shabbat.
And Cantor's going to kick us up with an opening nigun.
So we're going to sing together Yedid Nefesh Nigun, and I invite you to join with us like this. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
And in order to kick off Shabbat ritually, we're about to light the Shabbat candles. The readings for that are on page 2 and 3. And I would like to invite Sylvia Fratkin to the front for the honor of lighting the Shabbat candles.
Hi. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu v'mitzvata v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
I read this, okay. Blessed art you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Shakor. Thank you. Shalom.
Oh, yeah, okay, yes. Yes. It's okay.
All right. And we continue with Kabbalat Shabbat with Or Zarua on page 14 at the bottom of the page. Or Zarua. Or Zarua, la tzadik, O Yisrael simcha, Or Zaruach. Or Zarua, la tzadik, O Yisrael simcha, O Zarua la tzadik, O Yisrael simcha, O Yisrael simcha, O Zarua la tzadik, O Yisrael simcha, O Yisrael simcha, ya la 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 la, ya la la. ישרלב שמחה עוז הרוח לצדיק ישרלב שמחה עוז הרוח לצדיק ישרלב שמחה ישרלב שמחה עוז הרוח לצדיק ישרלב שמחה ישרלב שמחה לה לה And we continue with Lachadodi on pages 20 and 21 as we welcome the Shabbos bride. We will do verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. We'll rise at the 9th verse and we will, I don't know, I guess look that way where we came from or to welcome the bride. Maybe this way because it's so much nicer. I could imagine the bride floating over this gate and arriving in our midst. Could be nice. And we're going to sing this melody by Glazer and invite you to join with me as we sing together. Page 20, 21. לכדורי לקראת קלה, בהנה שבת נקבלה. לכדורי לקראת קלה, בהנה שבת נקבלה. שמו וזכור בדיבורך, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ותפארת ולתהילה. היי לכדורי לקראת קלה, בהנה שבת נקבלה. לכדורי לקראת קלה, בהנה שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תהילה. לכדורי לקראת קלה, בהנה שבת נקבלה. לכדורי לקראת קלה, בהנה שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך אורי, 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 שידברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לכדורי לקראת קלה, בהנה שבת נקבלה. לכדורי לקראת קלה, בהנה שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמונה עד סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לכדורי לקראת קלה, בהנה שבת נקבלה. לכדורי לקראת קלה, בהנה שבת נקבלה. Please be seated. And we continue with Shalom Aleichem, page 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leShalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Nil Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Agadosh Baruch Hu. Tzidchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu. And we continue now with Hatzi Kaddish as we continue, page 26. Yitkadav, Yitkadav, Shemei Rabbav. B'yamad yivrach hirotei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael. Bagala, Bagala, Uvizman Kari, Veimro.
Amen.
Yehesh meraba mevorach, leolam ulam meomaya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei dekodeshah. Berichu le'ela min kol berchatav v'shiratav, tushbechatav v'nechemata, damiran v'alma ve'imro.
Amen.
We now rise for the formal call to worship, page 28, and face our building. Yai la la la, yai la la la, yai la 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 la, yai la la la, yai la la la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la la la, yai la 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 la, yai la. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam. Yai la la la, yai la la la, yai la 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 la, yai la la la, yai la la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la.
Continue on page 30, Ma'ariv Elohim. We read together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach she'arim, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, במשמרותיהם ברקיע כצאנו, בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב ערבים.
And we join together in Ahavat Olam, leading into Shema, our prayer for God as one. Page 32 and 34. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. יהיה מחיינו לאורך ימינו ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, נגה יומם ולילה. מאהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please have a seat.
And we continue with V'ahavta. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha beveitecha, uvelechtecha v'derech, uv'shochbecha uv'komecha, ukishartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot beinecha, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Lihiot lachem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem Emet.
We're on page 41. We read together before we join the Micha Mocha on the right side of the page. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Yabba bim bim bam, yabba bim bam, yabba bim bim bam, yabba bim bam, ya la 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 la, yabba bim bam, ya la 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 la, yabba bim bam. Mi kamocha bahlim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar bakodesh, nora tehilot osefele, nora tehilot osefele, ma'alerutecha ra'ovanecha, bokei ayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, zeli zeli anu ve'amru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Hey, yabba bim bim bam, yabba bim bam, yabba bim bim bam, yabba bim bam, la 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 la, yabba bim bam, la 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 la, yabba bim bam. V'nemar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, uge'alo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
In page 42, and we begin the third line from the top for Hashkeveni.
Ufros aleinu sukat, sukat, shlomecha uzmor teiteinu, Sukat, shlomecha, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, Ufros aleinu sukat, sukat, shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Hapurei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. And we join together in Vishamru as we celebrate Shabbat. Vishameru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם וביום השביעי שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורות המריד עולם לדורות המריד עולם
All right. Re-establishing ourselves, we are rising in a moment for the Adonai Sefatei Petach. We're moving into the Amidah, page 46. Please rise as you're able and face the building one more time, please.
Adonai Sefatei Tiftach Ofia Gitehilatecha Adonai open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu ve'imoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzhak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Vanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol V'zocher Chazdei Avot V'imahot U'mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem Leman Shemo Be'ava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai Mechayeh HaKol Atah Rav LeHoshia Morid Hatal Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed Mechayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Velofeh Cholim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Bal Gevurot Umidam Elach מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please have a seat. And page 55 on the top, and we read together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57 on the top. Ever present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and in our prayer, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve and reverence. Together, Baruch atah Adonai, she'otecha levadecha b'yirah na'avod. Before we move into the Modim on page 58, we take a moment to think about something wonderful that happened during this week, something we are grateful for, all the positive things that happened to us. Take a moment and then kind of go around and share a word or two, a brief phrase, what those are. The same goes for you folks watching us from afar. Feel free to type the things you're grateful for in the chat on the bottom. To kick us off, Cantor.
Oh, I always get to start? Okay. So I think that this week I am thankful for you because I have missed a co-leader and partner and leader in our community. And so I am thankful for you this week. And what about you?
Well, now with that kind of a setup and stuff. No, Cantor, thank you as much. We're working a lot these days. He mentioned before he sees me more than his husband these days. So as you're working for the high holidays, so I'm grateful for the time we get to spend together and the wonderful things we get to work on. So thank you for that. All right, as we're moving around, who wants to kick us off from here tonight? Yeah? Yes, I see your hand. Oh, good, your deck is almost done. Nice. Yes.
Looking for some time to recover and reflect on this past weekend bar mitzvah.
It's wonderful to see here directly the week after the bar mitzvah. That's not a standard or a given. So good for you. Nice. Yes, right behind you. Oh, wonderful! Mazel tov! Congratulations to be with family and his anniversary, 61 years. That's great. Mazel tov. All right, who hasn't gotten a chance yet? Yes.
I'm wonderful. I'm thankful for my health. I just know that now that COVID-19, at least we have vaccinations.
Mm-hmm.
Hopeful that everyone follows through with an end to this.
All right, so thankful for health and also the vaccinations maybe appears there, and also hopefully people going through with that. So that's a big one. Thank you. Yes. Good for you. Starting a new production, the whole cast is vaccinated, so actually getting to start a new chapter on that. That's wonderful. Good. Oh, one more. Yes, yeah.
This sounds mundane, but I am so grateful we had help with the kitchen today, and it's making progress in the basement.
All right. A lot of progress going on with
A lot of
renovations around the
projects,
house.
yeah.
Wonderful. Nice. Yes.
Your
Grateful for the,
grandchildren.
for the children and grandchildren. Wonderful. Good to have you here. That's wonderful. All right. Oh, more hands. Yes.
I'm thankful and grateful that our 8-year-old grandson spent the week with us. We spent a lot of time with him, organizing all my things.
Good for you spending time with your with the grandkid and getting organized. That's wonderful. All right. I throw one more hand here. I think over here. Yes. That's wonderful to be together and see friends and family. That's wonderful. Thank you. All right. Oh, yeah, one more. Hey. Can you repeat that one more? It was a bit loud.
Oh, did you have?
Oh, over there. Oh.
I'm thankful that my son came from New York to visit and had a lovely dinner, and just conversations with friends and family this week have been amazing.
Wonderful. Son visited from New York and wonderful conversations with friends and family during the week. Wonderful. Great. All right. It's been a wonderful week. Okay, that's wonderful. I'm happy to hear that. Kind of kick us off with the Chatima on the
Yes.
bottom.
And we read the Hatima at the bottom of page 59. Baruch atah Adonai hatov shimcha ulecha na'el lehodot. And on page 60, a prayer for peace, the Shalom Rav. We have a new Shalom Rav. Some of you know this melody, but some may not. It's by Steve Dropkin, and I'm going to teach it to you first. So it has an A and a B section that are very similar, and it goes like this. Listen. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amchan Tasim Leolam. That's all the first part is. Try it with me. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amchan Tasim Leolam. And the second part repeats a little at the beginning. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amchan Tasim Leolam. Not too hard, right? I'm saying, oh, okay, I get it. Let's all sing the second part together. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amchan Tasim Leolam. And that's it. And you'll be able to sing this in no time. So join with me on this beautiful chorus of Shalom Rav. Okay. And just and you can sing too. It sounds good. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom. Ki ata Melech Adon Lecho HaShalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam Tasim Leolam
Baruch atah Adonai, hamevarech et amo Yisrael, b'shalom. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. We take now a moment of silent prayer for the meditations of our heart, and after that we come together on page 62 towards the bottom for Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom bimromav Oyaseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru Amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav Oyaseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
Show of hands, who of you has ever worked as an intern or in some kind of assistant position? Okay, quite a number of folks. And for how many of you was that an ambitious and sophisticated experience? I don't see many hands here right now, okay. So why is that? In our society, there often exists a strict hierarchy of authority, especially in the workforce. And your status and the pecking order of a company or organization is often reflected in the kind of work that you do. As the boss of the firm, you're unlikely the one to make the coffee, go get lunch for the colleagues, clean up the office, or water the plants. That is usually something delegated to somebody on a lower position in the hierarchy, such as a secretary, janitor, or the intern. Also, our society tends to idealize this constant moving up of the career ladder. Just take somebody who interns at a big company during their college years, makes copies all day, organizes the filing cabinets, and does a lot of Starbucks runs. But if they're still doing these kind of things when they're in their 30s or even older, people will start asking themselves, what's going on with them there? Some of you might have seen the 2015 movie The Intern, featuring Robert De Niro and Anne Hathaway, which pokes fun at exactly this situation. Robert De Niro plays 70-year-old Ben Whittaker, former CEO of a big firm who's bored in retirement and decides to do an internship at a startup company run by 30-something-year-old Jules Austin, portrayed by Anne Hathaway. After years of running a mega organization, Ben is back to making coffee, organizing his co-workers' desks, and chauffeuring his young boss around. And, contrary to everybody's expectations, he does all these things with great joy and dedication, which ultimately gains him everybody's sympathies. This week's Torah portion, Erev, the third one in the book of Deuteronomy, displays a very similar message. In the Parsha, God compares the land of Israel to the land of Egypt. For the land that you're about to inherit is not like the land of Egypt, where you sowed your grain and had to water it by your own labor. The land you're about to inherit drinks up the water from the rain of heaven. It is a land that Adonai your God takes care of. So according to the Torah, it's not the folks on the bottom or lower ranks of the totem pole. It's the big boss, God himself, who is active in taking care of the land. The Midrash Sifrei Devarim picks up on the Torah's example in a story about Rabban Gamliel, the Nasi, the ancient Jewish president, so to speak, who once held a banquet in honor of his son. The Midrash tells that Rabban Gamliel made a conscious effort to prepare all the wine for the party, and he even goes around serving his guests himself. When another rabbi tries to prevent him from doing so, Rabbi Joshua intervened. Let him serve the people. After all, even Abraham, one of the great ones in the world, served complete strangers he did not know. If he did that with them, shouldn't Rabbi Gamliel serve us too? Another colleague of his, Rabbi Tzadok, went even further in praising Rabban Gamliel. Hey, if even God, who causes the wind to blow, brings up clouds, brings down rain and raises vegetation, prepares a table for everyone by doing so, should not Rabban Gamliel serve us too? Rabbi Joshua and Rabbi Tzadok both understand that caring for and serving others need not be detrimental to one's dignity, can even be quite the contrary. Given the example of Abraham, who saw welcoming the stranger and taking care of them as a key mitzvah to fulfill. And then, of course, God's example as the ultimate act of care and compassion. So, what does all this leave us with? This week's Torah portion teaches us serving others need not be a menial task. And if Robert De Niro in The Intern taught us anything, it can be those little things of caring for others that have the potential to strengthen a sense of community and respect, no matter how old or important we are. If even God takes care of watering the land, so might a company boss, every once in a while, treat his co-workers to a Starbucks run. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
All right. We now have some announcements, and I would like to invite Vivian Morrison, co-chair of the Tikkun Olam Committee, to share those with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here you go.
That'll work.
Close.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay. So tomorrow, Torah study will begin at 9 a.m. and will be on Zoom. But there will also be a short Sabbath service here, either in person or on Zoom, beginning at 10 o'clock. The Havdalah tomorrow is on Zoom at 7:30. Traditional items For the blessings at home are wine, braided candle, and fragrant spices. The Shabbat Shalom provides some alternatives to these traditional items. The TBE Jewish Book Club meets on Tuesday, August 3rd at 11:30 a.m. in the social hall. The book of the month is Woman Who Broke Codes by Jason Fagoni. The Shabbat Shalom has a synopsis of the book, and for more information, please contact Carol Umbahacker. Next Friday night service, beginning at 6, August 6th, we'll have a guest speaker. Kate Harris, who has been a longstanding member of the Jewish Coalition for Immigrant Justice, will be talking about the organization and their activities and how Temple Bethel can become involved. It's time to register for Hebrew School. Members of the congregation will be receiving information either via email or snail mail, but also information can be found online. Also, for more information, contact Leslie Bright. The Judaica shop is open on Fridays from 11:30 to noon in the morning, and in the evening between 5:30 and 6 p.m. If you want to contact clergy, there they are, via email. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Sure enough.
Thanks, Vivian.
Thank you. And just to clarify, tomorrow's services, Shabbat service, are actually going to be outside on the lawn. This is the first time we're trying the Shabbat morning services. So if you want to try that out, in the outdoor environment, you are welcome to join us for that. All right. In the midst of our Shabbat rest, we take a moment to think of those who need of healing of body, mind, and soul. Just anybody of whom you're thinking at this time. I'm going to go around in a moment, and you can share their names out loud or in your hearts. And those at home, feel free to share their names in the chat if you want to. So. Mm-hmm.
Katie Ortega, David Cohen, Judy Brinkman, Tom Fox, Dick Seitz, Heather Harris, Dave Alker.
Sonia Costa.
For all them, we're about to recite the Misheberach, our prayer for healing, page 253. Please join us.
Before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
About to move into the concluding section of our service for the Aleinu. We're on page 282, page 284, and 287. Please rise one more time as you're able and face the building.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tegedu l'aleot יוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושבי קרוב השמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובה מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום השבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת. אין עוד ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו
Please have a seat. Page 291 on the bottom. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. This is custom in this community here. If there's anybody who's in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, please rise at this moment. Same goes for those at home. To them we all say together, Hamakom yinachem etchem b'toch sha'ar b'alei Tzion v'Yerushalayim. May God comfort you with all who mourn in Zion and Jerusalem. And also from our community, commemorate Marian Haugi and Lawrence Mosler in Shloshim. As for the Yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of a loved one, if there's anybody who's commemorating a Yahrzeit, please rise at this moment. The same for those at home. From this community, we commemorate Audrey Brady, Harold Bricker, Michael V. Brusser, Ida Epstein, Beatrice Helene Fishman, Arnold Flax, Philip Ingham, Fanny Jaffe, Mayer Kaplan, Matthew T. Kleinman, Selma Lachman, Julius Lacerna, Dorothy Mayer, Anna Mandels, Aaron Mandels, Louis Mesher, Alan J. Raphael, Saul Rothstein, Elizabeth Sable, Mary Joan Salerno, William Salk, Rolf Schneider, Edith Schindel, Rita Wallbank, and Yefim Ziskin. If there's anybody else whose name was not mentioned yet, feel free to add or in the chat. Mourner's Kaddish you can find on page 294. Everybody, please rise and join. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divrach hirutei, v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayichon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv, v'imru Amen. יהי שמי רבה מברך, לעלם ולעולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. זיכרונם לברכה. May their memories be a blessing. Please have a seat. All right, a few more thank yous. Thanks to Jordan Harris, Benjamin Zivan, and our Bar Mitzvah returning after the week after Bar Mitzvah. We are proud of you.
Way to
this
go,
is wonderful. Sally Salkin. Ann Peterson, our president for the AV behind the scenes. Vivian Morrison for announcements, and to Sylvia Fredkin for lighting Shabbat candles. Thanks to our security, Sean Battelle, our head of security, and everybody also who came and helped set up and also clean up afterwards services and getting the things ready. Appreciate it. All right, and for our closing song, Kent has something special.
So for a closing song, before the closing song, just again, a thank you for all those who have come to pray, whether you're online or whether you are in person. We're all here as one people, and it's really wonderful. We're going to conclude with an Adon Olam that I wrote in 2018 in the memory of Barbara Binder-Cadden, this beautiful melody. I wrote it due to the text at the very end of this prayer that says, "Into your hands I entrust my spirit when I sleep and when I wake, and with my spirit my body also. Adonai is with me, and I shall not fear." So I invite you to sing with me as we join together. Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa V'chetzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei kichlot hakol Levado yimloch nora Ve'hu haya ve'hu hove Ve'hu yeh betifara.
Page 321, by the way.
Yes. Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa V'chetzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'hu echad ve'ein sheni Leham shelo leachbira V'li reshit v'li tachlit V'lo haoz v'hamisra. Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa V'chetzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'hu Eli v'chai go'ali v'tzorchev li be'etzara V'hu nisi umanos li menat kosi b'yom ekra. Adon Olam Hashem Alach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Le'ed Nasa V'hefzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra. הדואב כדרוכי בעת ישן ועיירה ועם רוחי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא אירע אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא לעין עשה וחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אזי מלך שמו נקרא.
And before we leave, we're going to do Kiddush and Motzi. And there's going to be some bread. You can pick up a little bit as you head out. And also, please help the ushers with returning your chairs over to the stack. That would be great. Thank you. All right, thanks. And it's on page 5, the Kiddush.
Please rise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh bereshit ki hu yom techila lemikra'i kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim kivanu acharta ve'otanu kidasha mikol העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה ורצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Shabbat shalom and
Shalom, l'chaim.
l'chaim.
Motzi.
Join us. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. B'te'avon, a good meal. Please greet each other and Shabbat Shalom. And thank you for coming tonight.
Shalom. It was nice. So the felt a little something